What's up, YouTube and Facebook? First off, if you've seen my videos before, you know a bit about me. Second off, if you're not and you want to criticize and bitch at me, you know what? Go fuck yourself. Alright? I'm high functioning autistic. I really don't give a fuck what you all think. I try to give you all good advice. At least heed my advice. Form it into your own for all I care. I honestly don't. Now, the subject of today is about games. It's about one game more, basically in particular. Dungeon Defenders 2 for Xbox One. Now, I've played this game since day one. Since it first came to console. I've stopped repeatedly several times because of the traffic issue or how stupid people are. Okay? So this video is going to focus on a C2. That's short terms for Chaos 2. The Trials. Not the Incursion, the Trials. Well, Incursions can count for this too. Okay? Now, I own every character but the Initiate. I haven't bothered to get her yet. I'm not really worried about it, okay? I'm not rushing like everybody else loves to do. Now, the main focus is C2. Trials, Chaos 2 maps. Okay? I don't care how strong you are. I don't care what people have told you. I don't care how you think it's best. C2 maps have a very particular enemy. I call them cybernetic orcs because they do look cybernetic. Okay? Why is this so important? Well, let's see. Considering that if you're using aura or trapped based defenses, you might as well just stand there and let them beat the fuck out of you. Aura and trap-based defenses are useless on this map. There is nothing good about them on a Chaos 2 map. Because cybernetic orcs have the ability to stun all trap and aura-based defenses for a good 15-30 seconds. So, while they're stunned, they're beating the hell out of your defenses, but... And then, the other issue I have with C2 maps is the people that join me. Or the people I join. Because before I stopped being a builder, all my stuff, defensive thing, was way stronger than the people that I join or that join me. But they bitch, they moan, they complain. Hell, they've even reported me. I'm now banned from sending messages or talking with my friends because people didn't like me playing my defenses. If you're trying to win a map, don't be fucking greedy. Seriously. Go with whoever has the best defenses. This is excluding aura and trap based. In a C2 map, your towers and your barricades matter beyond all else. And another thing, if you're on a map and you have 4 people and there are 4 separate lanes, does this mean you all gather on one lane and ignore the rest? No. Come on, common sense. You pick one lane. Everybody gets their own goddamn lane. You stay in that lane. You defend that lane. When that lane is clear, no other enemies are coming, then you bounce to a different lane to help them. But when you see enemies go back to your lane, you bounce back to that lane. It is common sense. It minimizes the chance of the enemies breaking through, and it literally ensures a victory. Plus, oh, and another thing, okay, for those of you who seem to rely on everybody else to upgrade your shit, don't be greedy. Instead of repairing, then upgrading the same tower, upgrade it. For those of you who don't know, if you upgrade a wounded tower, this automatically heals it to full health. Which means you don't have to waste gems to heal it and then upgrade it. An upgraded tower is more useful than just repairing it. The more damage it can deal, the better off it is. So upgrading it is usually advised. Alright? Another thing. As I've said before, I don't care how strong you are. I don't care what you think is best. What I know is best is teamwork in this game. Yes, if you want to solo, go solo. I don't really care. But when you're playing with other people, be a team player. I'm tired of doing all the work, and I'm the one who gets bitched at for it. I have 6 messages from people blaming me for every time we lose. And yet, no enemy broke through my lane. And every time my lane was clear, I bounced to a different lane to help them. But it's my fault when we lose. Alright? So, because of that, Hell Phoenix 24 will not be on Xbox Live for quite some time. Because, well, let me think. Oh, I know. Because people have reported me yet again. I give it good advice, they report me because I talk. I keep trying to tell them, no, don't do this, do that. Come on, it's common sense. But that don't matter, does it? No. But I don't fucking care. I honestly do not care anymore. Right? Y'all want to play stupid and take your time and then blame everybody else for your faults? Fine. Every time I try to give good advice, you trolls and you children who play this game decide to blame me for your mistakes. You know what? When I make a mistake, I admit my mistakes and I move on. Only cowards and pussies blame other people for their problems. I'm gonna say it straight up. I don't care. I'm a high functioning autistic. And personally, I don't color code it. I don't make everything look like it's sparkles and rainbows when I tell the truth. If you don't like my truth, stop watching. That simple. People need to know what truth is out there. People needs to know that what's the real deal. Okay? I don't care if you're a child. I don't care if you're an adult. You don't like how I do things? Guess what? It is called the world of free speech. So, there's not a law on Earth, off Earth, or in any other dimension that will stop me from speaking my mind. And those of you who think my video is funny, thanks. I do try to laugh, but when I get serious, I seem to make people laugh even more. So, either way, I don't care. Looks like I gotta buzz my head again. But for Dungeon Defenders 2, okay, it's a good game. They've added a lot of new stuff. They've continued the story from the first one. It is a really good game. But when you're playing with people online, like most people seem to, heed the advice of someone who's played both games. For the console, not the PC. PC is different than console. I will say that now. Play the game on how it suits you. But if you're playing with other people and their stuff is far stronger than yours, go with their stuff. Otherwise, you will never pass a match. You will never defend a lane. It is common sense to know this. Go with the strongest defenses. Always. And if you're playing on a Trial Chaos 2 map, do not place auras or traps. And for those of you who can't tell the difference between a defensive tower and an aura or a booby trap, let me dub it down for you. We'll start with the Squire, as I call him, the soldier, the warrior. He has no aura and no trap-based defenses. He has a blockade, and he has 3 towers. He's got his cannonball tower, his ballista tower, and his little dummy that likes to spin around attack. I don't really use it. I don't really care for that one. These are blockades and towers. Now, the Huntress. She is indeed a hunter. She's an aggressive. She is not a defender. She has no defensive towers. All her shit is aggressive. She has 3 trap-based defenses. Blaze Balloon, Explosive, and her little geyser. Those are considered trap-based defense. Which means in a Chaos 2 map, they're completely useless. Her only tower for that map she could use is her Poison Dart Tower. Which, mind you, is highly aggressive if you build it right. I recommend Enhanced Poison, Explosive Poison, and either Destruction or Defense Rate. Defense Rate increases the attack speed. Personal favorite. Now, character 3, the monk. Okay, if you've ever played the first one, you know his stuff is aura based. The only two things, one thing that I know that is not aura based is his Sky Guard tower. Now, out of all towers in the game that deals with anti-air, his is number 1. It attacks only anything that's in the air. So if you combined it with the mage's tornado, it knocks enemies up in the air. The Skyguard Tower will then attack it. Okay? The Skyguard Tower is the number 1 tower when it comes to defending against anti-air units. It is the best tower to use. Alright? Personal experience. His other 3, he's got his Fire Ring, which is an aura-based trap. He's got his Lightning Strike, which is an aura-based trap. And then he's got his Aura Booster, his Tree Booster. I haven't really decided to check on what its title is, but I'm assuming it is an aura-based. If it's not, well then it's not, okay? I could be wrong. I don't really pay attention to the boosters. Alright? Remember, auras and traps are bad. No use in Chaos 2. Only ignorant and amateurs use them in a Chaos 2 map. Okay? Now, let's start with another one people don't seem to really care to heed the advice from. Series EV2. She has 4 trap/aura-based abilities. All hers counts as traps and aura-based. These 4 are completely useless if you're playing on a Chaos 2 map, because of the orcs will stun them. If you want to avoid this, and you want to use her, don't play your traps. Excuse me. Do not play your traps. If you want to use her, don't play her traps. You'll just get in the way. Then, we have the Apprentice. He has no aura towers. He has towers and blockades. His magical shield blockade, pretty good. Use it, personal favorite. Because it also has the ability that the other towers do not have. When it blocks and then when it blows up, when it dies, it deals damage at the enemy. It deals damages to enemies within the vicinity of its destruction. This is a nifty little handy trick if you know how to build it. For those of you who love using his Frostbite Tower, okay, I don't use it. I personally give 2 shits about it. I don't really care. It does no damage. Not a single point of damage comes from that tower. The only thing it does is slow down 1 enemy. And if you have a shard, it slows down 2 enemies. And then if you have another shard, it'll freeze those enemies. But that's it. It does nothing worthwhile to groups of enemies. And you're not going to be facing 1 target after nothing. No, you're facing hordes. Frostbite Tower is the most useless tower in this game. My personal opinion. You don't like it? Oh well. His Flamethrower Tower is his ace in the hole. His second tower is his Earth Shatter. These are his bombardment. These are must for a wizard. Okay? The 3 you should use: Magic Barrier, Flamethrower, Earth Shatter. That's it. His Frostbite, don't bother with it. It has nothing worthwhile. Nothing. Alright? The next character we're going to talk about. Let's see. I have them all. Let me see. Who have I not talked about yet? The Abyss Lord. Now then. The Abyss Lord has 4 tower/blockade based defenses. His Colossus and his zombie or orc zombies. Those are blockade based. In other words, they're supposed to be blocking the enemy. Right? That's what they're supposed to do. His other tower, which he has 2 of, both are ranged capable. You have his Ramster, which is the little ram that fires. Okay, it never has a lot of health, so you need to place it where it's not going to be in the direct line of fire. It can take out hordes of enemies if you place it right. His other one is his skeletal archers. Place these in a range because they have quite the range. Excuse me. Like the Ramster, you place it outside of where it cannot be attacked. Focus on building these things up. Don't just, okay, it's wounded, let's repair it. Move on to the next thing. Upgrade them. They are useless unless you upgrade them. That goes for with any character. Upgrade your defenses. Don't expect people to do it for you. Because not everybody will, because I know I won't. I'm tired of doing it. Another character, personal favorite, she's on my top favorite list, is the Mystic. Now, the Mystic has been getting a lot of shit lately out of a lot of people. I'm here to clarify why she is considered one of the most badass characters in the game. Okay? First, you have her blockade tower, the Viper Fangs. These nifty little things have quite the range on them for being just a blockade. They can launch the enemy up in the air, and then they drizzle down water, which in turn damages the enemies that they capture in the bubble, and damage the enemies that goes underneath the bubbles. Hello? Now, another thing about the Mystic is she has a very nifty, her Serpent's Coil. This is her only way to heal. She has to have that out if she is going to be up in the enemy's face. If her team is not going to help heal her, she needs that out because not only does it help heal her, it can heal teammates if they're not greedy and try and take up all the healing. Okay? It also has a special shard that's called Combined Power. Now, combining that Serpent Coil... Excuse me, don't know why I'm yawning so bad. You combine Serpent's Coil with her Sand Viper. Sand Viper is her tower defense. Keep it out of range so it can do its damage. Now, if the Sand Viper and the Serpent's Coil are both attacking the exact same target, the Combined Power's ability kicks in, which ups the damage greatly for the Serpent's Coil, making this thing freaking deadly. I know, because I used to use it like crazy. Now, the only trap I don't use of hers is, it's a trap. It's a trap slash, it's a mix between a trap and an aura. Is her Snaking Sands. This is a little trap that you place on the ground that spins around and slows down one enemy. Okay? Its range is limited. Its power is almost useless. It does have some benefits. But on its C2 map, don't even bother placing it because they're just going, oh, look at that! Stun it! Move on. Her 3 towers slash blockades are key for her. She has to have them out. Now, her 4th one, personal favorite of mine, the Blockade Obelisk. Now, this nifty little thing that a lot of people have been dissing, that blockade, yes, it is a blockade, but you don't want it blocking a lane. You need it next to your troops, but you need it away from the combat. Because not only can it put a shield on you, which buffs your stuff and helps defend you, it also has the ability to deal smite and fire damage. Smite means it has a chance of instantly killing them. Basically, it's its version of a critical hit, which is extremely high. Okay? The flamethrower damage is constant, like the flame towers for the apprentice. But you have to have maxed out essence or mana for this character, because all her mana is based off her deity, her god, the snake god. Keep him happy, he keeps you alive. Basically, in a sense. And for those of you who do not know, I'm still working out the kinks with it, but her secondary attack, she's a ranged attacker as well as a melee attacker. That's another reason why I like her. If you're low on health and you don't have a Serpent's Coil, stay away. You won't gain a lot of health from it, but you attack with your ranged attack, and it will gradually start to heal you. And if your god is spinning around you, it heals you even more. This is a very handy thing to have, especially for someone like her. Okay? The next is the Lava Messer. He's been getting a lot of shit too, just because his blockades cost 60 instead of 30 or 40 like the others. His blockades are the highest in the game. No blockade is higher than his. At least that I've been able to see. I mean, I've seen a blockade at tier 1. A Lava Mancer's blockade at tier 1 was 10 fucking million. Tier 1! Imagine how high it goes at tier 5. Okay? Lava Mancer is a melee class. He's a melee type. He's an aggressor. He gets in the thick of it and fights. But he also has the ability of quick escape. If you think of Pokemon, he has the ability to dig. He digs underground, and then when he comes back up, he deals damage. Okay? This is nifty to have for him because if he's low on health, he can get the fuck out of there. And while he's underground, he heals. And on top of that, you can't hurt him. He's immortal while underground. Literally. The Lava Mancer, as I said, he's an aggressor. He's a melee type. He has to be in the thick of battle. He can't just stay back and watch. Because that's not how a Lava Mancer plays. He is fire. He is lava. He's magma. He is fury. Get his ass in there and fuck him up. Okay? Now, let's see. I believe that's all the characters except one. Let's see. Here we go. The Dryad. Nature's goddess. Okay? Nature's beauties. There she is. The Dryad. She is also a melee type. But she is also a defender type. If you use her right and use the shards however you want her. If you want to be aggressive, use her corruption form a lot more. If you want her to be more peaceful and defensive but still aggressive, use her purity form, which is the form she starts off in anyways. Now, doing this with her, she can be played many ways. No, she is not a ranged attacker. She has to be up in the fight. She is a warrior. Oh, excuse me. This is what she does. Because her secondary attack is her transforming into a corrupted state. Her powers increase while in this corrupted state. However, it costs you your mana. Your Starfall ability is supposed to cover that. But you gotta be careful. You don't want to overdo it with her. Now, she has only 2 towers that can be targeted. Her tree, which she needs to place any of her traps. She can't place a single trap without her grand tree. Next is her harpies. Her harpies are devastators. They can attack land and air units. And while in corrupted state, not only do they attack faster, but they can pierce through enemies and hit multiple targets. This is good. This is always good to have. The main strategy I've seen used with her are her slime attacks. Her little slime balls that she summons. Okay? These guys are devastated. I've seen them wipe out bosses in seconds. It's like, hey, look, bounce, bounce. Watch them all blow up. It's funny, actually. It's really funny. The only one that seemed to avoid the slime's damage are siege rollers because the front of them is usually their aggression and their defensive. You got to hit them from behind to actually deal good damage. Okay? But the Dryad, she's on my top 5 faves. Alright? I think it's my top 5. I'll get back to you on that one. The next one, the Gun Witch. Okay? She has no towers, she has no defenses, and I've actually met people that think she's usually worthless. You know what? You have no idea what you're talking about. She is pure damage. That is all she does. Damage per second between her and the Lord, the Abyss Lord. I don't know. That race is pretty even. The Abyss Lord has an attack that can hit multiple targets. But the Gun Witch has a flexibility of being able to use all her attacks at once. And freeze, stun, transform. She can do all this and deal damage. And if she hits a transformed enemy, all the enemies she transforms turns into books for a little bit. Now, if you got her a shard that literally helps that maxed out, the damage she deals to transformed enemies is increased by 15%. Now, you might not think that's a lot, but yes, it is. That's a lot. Oh my god, yes. She is, out of all characters, she is a speed damage character. You get her in the thick of the battle, you stun them, you freeze them, you do whatever, you blast them, and then you flip out of there with one of her other abilities. Her flip ability, which is she jumps and stars hit, hit the enemy. It does damage. It's really good that way. It's a hit and run method. Now, every character I've talked about is every character but the Initiate. The Initiate is probably just like the Monk. Exactly how I said. Except her abilities, her personal abilities, are different from the Monk's. I don't know what they are, 'cause I haven't got her. But everything I've said about the game, about the characters, about Chaos 2, please heed my advice. I'm not shitting you. I am not trying to throw you off course. I'm trying to help you to understand what you're up against with these enemies. Cybernetic orcs are one of the most annoying characters in the game. There's only one character that's probably more annoying than that, and that's the Assassins. Those are on a Chaos 5 map, and trust me, I can't even complete that map. And not unless you have friends that are freaking level 400 or 500 whatnot to run you through that. Basically, you're on their shoulder and they're just carrying you through the map. You will never pass that map unless you take your time. If you're rushing trying to get all the good, like if someone takes you to Chaos 7, you're expecting to get all Chaos 7 gear, right? Wrong. It only goes off based off your highest character level. So if you're still on a Chaos 1 map and someone drags you through a Chaos 7 and you win, the gear you get will only be Chaos 1. They made this game a grinder game. You have to grind to get what you want. Take your time. Enjoy the game. Stop trying to rush through the game trying to be the best. I played the game since day one. I'm not better than half the people who play. I just play to play. I don't really care anymore. Except for those dumbass people I come across. Stay. That's my dog. Now, this is the end of my video. If you've watched through the whole video, okay, you get to see. You see that I'm smart. I may be high functioning autistic, but that does not mean I'm stupid. There are different forms of autism. There's different forms of mental disability. Some of you don't even know what half of that is. You know what? Live in my shoes for a year. Feel the pain I go through a day. All the pain I go through in one day is all the pain you go through in a year. I go through in every day. So, hush. This is the end of my video. This is Hell Phoenix 24. Bye.